all day. So if you have time on Wednesday, or if there's another evening that works for you, or during the day, let me know and we can coordinate. And I would be happy to sit down and take a look at what you're running, and just offer some insight.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I get back
Hi,
about
Craig.
5:30. Hi, Craig. I'll take intro.
Oh, damn it.
Snap.
I code shotgun.
Fight.
Having met Tars, I remember
I want the front seat.
we met Tars, and I remembered I had pretzel rods. So Bron's going to be talking like this tonight.
I have no idea what TARS has to do with pretzel rods, but okay.
I mean, like, Tars is like, he's part of the
Next time.
criminal element, you understand? You see? You see here?
Milord?
Brun's got. Oh no, I completely forgot about my lord.
How could you forget about my lord?
The trauma.
It's nice to see you, Milord.
Good to see you, my
I
lord.
got smacked. So anyway, welcome back, friends. Hi, hello.
Sure.
We begin
At the beginning.
now. Derek, go.
Onto a new morning, the gang make a decision on what to do after realizing that the families have stolen some of their items and left their own calling cards. A coin from the Duarte family for Thane, and cards from the Twist Twins, Kunabak, and Sofasari for Brun, Duncan, and Navos, respectively. Breaking the wax on his card, Brun spoke with an ethereal figure of Umran, learning that the Seekers have been recalled, the Ratman supplies are with the Sofasari, and the Twist Twins and Thalmoths are a bit more observant. Going between searching the sewers, contacting Gemet, and speaking with Sarlor, the group decided to meet with the Vidarian Paladins and Clang to see if they can help with holding the sample boxes, if we can even get them from the Sofasari. Upon leaving, we see a crowd appear and learn that there was a gargoyle that was destroyed the previous night, with mutterings of the Archbishop, Vonders, and the Kunabak family, as well as a foundry and something to do with gargoyle properties. Making our way northeast, we pass through easily thanks to Milord, with word from Louis to walk a path through transporting doors. Leading to a dorm/safe house, we meet with a bruiser dragonborn named Tars. Trying to convince Tars to help us pass through easier, he gave us a list of names and locations to be removed. Unable for most of us to take the task on, we left and continued moving north into Clang with the Vidarians within sight.
Anything from anyone else?
Brun may or may not have made a deal to a secret deal to kill people for the Gartranos family. Given a list of four names, three locations. Yep. That's all I had.
Yeah, Brun has asked them to drop the locations and give him the names. And give him more names if they have to.
And I don't think that Gartranos really like Duncan for some reason. They keep throwing knives at him.
Couldn't tell you why. Listen, he called them the Duncan for the first time ever. Called them the Gartrano family, and we're proud of progress.
Oh no!
You can teach an old dog new
Evan.
tricks.
Evan called them Gartrano. They're the Garbanzos, the Gartinis. Shaken, not stirred.
Craig is recording, so I'm not going to say my favorite Garbanzo joke.
The Garganos.
Don't be shy. What'd you have to say, Curtis?
You know the difference between a garbanzo bean and a chickpea?
Please do enlighten us.
I've never had a garbanzo bean in my mouth before.
Oh,
Derek knew exactly where that was going, and I appreciated
so did I.
it.
I just wanted to hear you say it.
I didn't. I'll have to tell that one to Kylie later.
I thought you were going to tell it.
I'll tell it to my 3-year-old.
A bold choice. Would you like? I can't wait for that phone call from the principal's office.
Derek, how's your inspiration?
Empty.
Empty. Refill that sucker.
Cool.
Sorry, I'm writing a thing.
They're writing down the incredible joke I just said. Thank you.
Got to put
I
that
need
one
to
in the
make
notes
sure that one's in there.
for the highlight reel.
That's for the YouTube shorts.
No,
Tars
we are not
says-
getting into YouTube Shorts.
Tars goes, wait, come back. I got something to tell you guys. Just one last one.
All right. We do, in fact, return to the training grounds, basically. Y'all have made your way into Clang against all recommendations from your good buddy Vox. Woo!
Take it or leave it. Criminals be criminals.
Thugs do be thugging.
Thug life or something. I don't know. All right, cool. All of that is back where it should be. And where is the thing that I wanted? What?
Saying this for everybody else, make sure you pull up all of the supplementary documents we will need for this episode.
You guys keep asking more questions about things, so I keep making more supplementary documents.
Yeah, I have them all on a Google Drive. It's very nice.
Oh my goodness.
Google Drive,
The
we haven't had a good
sound-
Duncan rule in him.
The sounds of combat fill the air in this place. The sun is fairly high in the sky by now, as you've kind of made your way through toward where Brun happens to remember the Vidarian paladins tended to hang out. And it doesn't take much effort once you're in the right area to figure out who is where. The field is decently populated. Many people are sparring. There are various people training different commands and things, different maneuvers. Duncan, it's reminiscent. It's kind of giving you some flashbacks. You had passed several different groups who were running laps throughout the entirety of Clang. Brun, it's unchanged. You remember being that person running laps. You remember the drills. You remember the oppressive heat in this place with no trees. There have been several gargoyles flying overhead. You've noticed the patrol atop the dividing walls, the smaller dividing walls and such. And through all of this, it doesn't seem like anyone is paying you any mind. Compared to all the people who had been kind of staring at you, sizing you up, snitching on you through the rest of the city, these people either don't know that there's a bounty or they are focused and don't care. Why are you guys here? What were you looking to do in Clang?
Well, I definitely want to go talk to the Vidarians. We definitely need an ally on our side, and some of the company that we have been keeping is a little less unscrupulous for Duncan's needs. It's about time we did this by the book.
I think we wanted to see where we can take the samples to once we liberate them as well, and they're a potential safe place, potentially.
They should be. They're good people.
I believe you were also trying to seek out Vondersh, the Saber, the Red Dragonborn. Was
He
that
did
part
leave
of
a
the plan?
notice in my notebook, I believe.
Yeah, she left you a message.
And curious what for.
Approaching this field, as I mentioned, there are several kind of pairings or groups. There's a larger group battle off to one side that's going on with people trying to get a better feel for what it's like to not have somebody just directly in front of you, but people on all sides trying to maintain that awareness of the battlefield around you. As you kind of breach the edge of this field, a couple of people turn, kind of see what's going on. Some of them will return to what they were doing. And one of them barks a couple of orders to the trainees that he's working with, and starts making his way over toward you all. Duncan, to your knowledge, you see an armored fist on his all of his emblems.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what are you doing here? Training grounds are closed to visits.
I think you would make an exception for us, I would hope. Former paladin of Vidarian, I'm looking for an audience with your chapter. Oh, I guess we never do leave the order, do we?
Most of us don't, except by battle. You're looking for Vondoj.
That would be the person, yes. They even left me a note. I'll take my notebook, I'll pull it out to that page that has the stamp of Vonders. I think she's expecting me. Expecting all of us, relatively.
He takes a closer look at it. Kind of like rubs the bag of his neck. She doesn't, might not be a great time, but I guess if she's expecting you. Right, you're gonna head back up that way, and he points to a fairly simple-looking building. Just a plain office-looking place, from what you can tell. Head on in there, and tell them what you told me. They'll let Vondoj know you're here. Don't say I didn't warn you. She's in a bit of a mood today.
Looking at his armor,
heard her yelling. Bit earlier.
Can I have a sense of what rank he holds here in the order?
Ugh, I knew you were gonna ask. He's a unit leader, sergeant major.
Okay, so you'd be the same rank as me.
Yep.
Thank you. Good luck with your recruits, and I'll give him a salute.
He'll return the salute. What does a Vidarian salute look like?
Oh, absolutely. So you take your fists, kind of roll it over. Yep. It's not like a salute. No. Yep. Kerr's got it.
Nailed it.
It's kind of showing the fist that should be emblazoned upon his tunic with the feathers kind of coming off of it. You're just kind of covering it with your own fist, and you kind of see the background of the feathers on your own fist.
Nice. Some of the groups are paying a little extra attention as this guy is talking to you, kind of like what's going on there. They see that you've been pointed toward the office, and you notice the vibe changes just a bit. You don't even have to roll for it. They've gone from curious as to what's happening and intrigued to immediately not their business.
Yeah, they better keep their eyes forward, back on what they were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. They return
Wandering eyes
to their
don't make
sparring.
soldiers.
Which rule is that?
That's not a rule. But that would definitely be something. So I would imagine Duncan was a very harsh staff sergeant when he was, kind of in training. He would immediately kind of return to that form. Like, keep your eyes to yourselves. Back to what you're doing.
As you head to this building, somebody kind of hustles out. The guys who visited the Thalamus, so Duncan and Navos, the urgency you had seen there is very similar. But again, there's that nervousness underlying it, where this person is eager to leave this building and get as far from it as possible. Walking in, there is a receptionist.
Before we make contact,
Yeah.
I want to just, as we're walking up, Thane is just going to whisper to, like, Brun, where no one else, I don't want anyone else to hear it, just Brun. We will bet you 10 silver that Duncan walks away from this very disappointed. We don't really get the concept of betting, or is that too much? Is that too little?
I think the
10
odds
gold?
are 10 silver's good action. I think Duncan leaving pointed pretty likely. I'll bet you 5 gold there's a fist fight.
There's a what?
There's a fist fight.
A fist fight? Between them, or between, like, us and one of the people here?
Oh no, I can't bet on myself. You know what? I'll take
Yeah,
your
it would be
I'll
your-
take your action. I'll make it 15.
15 silver. Okay.
The receptionist in front of you, very simple desk, very small desk, looks up, kind of surprised that whoever was just sent out is returning so quickly. Hello, can I help you? Are you lost?
No, we're expected, actually. Please.
You have an appointment. Your name?
Duncan Dubois,
The
Sergeant
group
Major.
name? There are many of you.
We're not a band, ma'am.
Right.
We have a group name?
I don't think we do. Normal
Then
people
the
have
individual
group
names, I suppose.
Duncan Dubois,
You mentioned.
Brun. Brun, do you have a last name?
Brun says nothing.
Brun will do
Thane
just fine then.
Verdance.
Thane Verdance.
Navos Kalran.
Starts flipping through papers and pages and things. Right. I do
Clearly
see you on the
realizing
list
what you-
here.
Oh, okay. We're on this.
You said you had an appointment, and you do, in fact, have an appointment. Are you confused, Mr. Dubois? Do you... Anyway, you are on my list here.
As I should be.
Meeting with Vonders, it looks like.
Hmm.
So she is not currently in. I'll have to send a runner to get her. In the meantime, the note here. You are to be... Okay. Right, so in order to have you out of the way of other business here, we will be putting you in waiting room 2. So that is just down the hallway here and off to the right. I will send that runner to collect Vonders, and your meeting should begin fairly soon. Kind of just gestures you like, come on, move. Got things to do in this clearly empty office.
Alrighty. You better dispatch that runner. Thank you. This way, fellas. Take
And-
this band on the run.
Everything is very proper. The lines of the architecture here, very clean cut, straightforward. It's pretty much everything you'd expect from a militaristic type office. No ornamentation going on in this building. not like when you were in tape for that particular meeting.
Duncan, did they usually include like reading material or anything? I hate the wait time at these kind of places.
Oh, absolutely. And I will pick up the nearest Vidarian chant book. 100% is written in Celestial, the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could I get a reading
These are
from
pretty
the
good.
DM? Could I get a reading of what this sounds like?
What is? Oh, I was hoping for Arms and Armor monthly, but we can do with a prayer book.
That's actually an Evan question.
I do have some written down. I've been writing.
You
I
flip
do-
open the book.
I do speak Celestial.
Oh, do you speak Celestial? Perfect.
He do.
Okay. Let's give you this one. As you open this book, this is a prayer for endurance. It's more of I guess you would call it a chant, but it isn't sung. It's spoken as kind of like a weird spoken poetry.
Oh yeah, it's slam poetry for God.
In Celestial, it reads, Vidar, binder of oaths. I bleed not for pride, but for purpose. Each bruise binds me to the broken, each ache a vow to the fallen. I am not made for ease. I am your sword, dulled in comfort, honed in trial. When my breath fails me, fill me with your stillness. When my muscles scream, fill me with your resolve. Let every drop of my blood scream out, I do not yield. I do not train for glory, but for honor. I do not train for retribution, but for justice. Let me endure what others cannot, and let me rise where others have fallen.
That was beautiful.
Did your wait time feel any shorter?
It did. Looking at my imaginary watch. Did that...
And I will suspect, as you kind of are looking through it and you're kind of reading it in Celestial, Duncan is definitely like looking over your shoulders and just kind of, oh, this gets me every time.
That's my question. Did this instill in you as a child?
I was actually a teenager when I first encountered the Vidarian Paladins. And it wasn't the best day of my life, but it soon turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me.
I'm glad it did. You turned out to be a
I'm glad it did.
wonderful, wonderful man. I'd like to hear more, maybe in the future.
And if you are genuine with that request, that will happen. I don't speak of my faith very often, but it truly has saved me.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear. I feel like we all have a reason that it stepped in. Always some life-changing purpose.
Do we have a group name, guys? If not, that's something that maybe we should work on, for when we do group reservations, or, if we want like a quick snappy thing, like, we were the ones to do the thing.
Milord
The
and his
Dubois
lads.
boys.
Well, that one's good too.
Because we had one in mind. We can workshop it, but it could be a good callback on why we are on this journey together the way that we are.
The dead gods the dead godchildren. That sounds like
we
a
were,
bad
we
name.
were it does. We were actually thinking Piebald's Peace. Because I mean Piebald is the one who sent us on this.
We get in.
He's
We
the
get
one who
into
gave
too
us
many fights
Yeah.
to be anything peaceful.
Yeah.
You remember the time you kicked Silverwater's ass?
Oh yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
line moves an inch forward.
Well, Piebald's something. Piebald's punishment. No, we
Piebald's
we don't want to
Redeemers.
forget. Well, we're redeeming ourselves, maybe not him. We didn't.
Maybe
need
just
to
the Redeemers.
I think I've always found that other people giving you the nickname tends to stick a little better. And unfortunately, right now, if
I mean, we can't go by the assholes, the terrorists. That's all they
Yeah,
talk
this
about.
this might not be the place to be accepting requests on behalf of the people who are speaking with us.
Um,
Mulling this over, you hear through the door down the hallway a loud slamming. A lot of armor clanking along. And then another slamming. A bit of yelling that's muffled, just enough that it's indistinct and you can't quite figure out what is being said. From there, there's kind of a tack, 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 tack down the hallway, and the door to your waiting room opens. A very rushed-looking halfling. Hello, Miss Fonders is ready to meet with you. If you'll follow me, please.
Yep. About time. Let's go. Piebald's Peace.
And you are led to an office. It looks like all of the others. Doors opened, and sitting behind a larger desk, still not ornate, but the surface space is necessary for the amount of paperwork you see all over the place. Maps are rolled up on shelves along the walls, all sorts of communications you see. There's a variety, just brief glance of different types of seals on several of these. And there is a red dragonborn sitting behind the desk. The perfect picture of composure. Good to see you all. Please have a seat. The
Definitely.
salute is returned.
And I'll take my seats in proper form.
I'm going to stand at Duncan's side, like a squire would.
Ooh, Thane falling back on their training. The halfling behind you is quickly dismissed. The door closed behind you. And you hear that tack, 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 tack as they book it down the hallway. I'll admit, leaving you my message, I wasn't expecting all of you. But be that as it may, you must be here for a reason. You are quite aware of the bounty on your head. So I'm intrigued to hear what you have to say.
Well, ma'am, I thought about what I'd say on the walk over here and the eyes that follow us, and I've done a lot of thinking, and truthfully, I think I've been thinking too much. I have forgotten our ways. I come here in hopes that you will help us. I feel as though, and I don't know how, and I don't know why me, as though our Lord Vidar has chosen me for something. There's too many coincidences to believe in chance. We came to this city with a problem, and I feel like those problems have just doubled and doubled again. We're in the middle of something bigger than the four of us. We need support. We need allies. We need help. And who better than the Paladins of Adar to help us? And if that was a real laugh from Brun,
That
you are
was
getting dead eyes.
that was just like a and continues sort of looking at looking over at Duncan and then back to Von Dersch.
You get the distinct impression that she absolutely heard you and is fully ignoring you. She's locked on Duncan right now.
Yep, that's fine. There's some turnabout as fair play here, and Brun is not trying to intentionally agitate her. If that happens, that's a bonus.
A free gift.
Free gift with purchase.
Mr. Dubois, you with tainted hand and tattered wings. Why did you leave your post? How long has it been?
Going on almost a decade, ma'am.
Almost a decade.
I think that the order that I left, and I hope that you prove me wrong, just wasn't the order that I joined. Things slipped through the cracks too much. And group after group of recruit came and went, were never seen again. And I got too old for it. Frankly, I'm too old for this. But we all have to keep we got to keep listening to our hearts. Mine's one tick from giving out, but she's pretty loud.
You could make a difference, you know.
That's what I told myself
Your
30,
experience.
30, 40, almost 40 years ago now. Some difference I've made.
You've been away for 10 years, you say.
Yeah.
And yet you return now. What do you hope to gain, being here, seeking aid? It is our way, of course, to help where we are needed. But where were you for 10 years? When you were needed?
And I think that's something I've had to deal with every day is I don't know if I was. I sometimes feel as though I was training them to be too soft. That I wasn't preparing them for the monsters out in the world. I was filling their heads with thoughts of, I don't know, thoughts that this world might be a little kinder to them. And they too should be a little kinder to it. I couldn't be a knight like you, like the other heroes out there in the courtyard, out there beyond the city walls. I just felt like it was time to be honest with myself and move from this place and move from this, and perhaps settle down somewhere where I can be forgotten. And I thought I was.
I could grant you your status back. I have the forms right here. You could go out there today and start changing things. Training these people to survive, to fight for what is necessary. There is only one thing that I need from you before that can happen. You walked into my office with a member of the gardener's crew.
Sorry, who?
I have read your journal, Duncan Dubois.
Yes, ma'am.
Do not play games. You began an investigation on one of your fellows here.
Yes, that was back in Ulrith, Woodlouse and whatnot. It wasn't anything serious. I found some smuggled silly weeds, but it wasn't anything too damning. I'm unfamiliar with this Gardner family.
For the first time, she looks away from Duncan, directly at Brun.
Brun has an thing you're probably closest. Brun has gone from sitting in the chair very relaxed to relaxed but perfectly still. Like as soon as she says Gardner, there is just that hesitation and just ready for something to happen. And just continue when that stare comes back, Brun just continues sort of like it just looks and meets her eyes.
We know who you are as well, Brun. A certain white-armored individual would love to talk to you again.
I'm sure he would.
Would you tell him all of the atrocities you've committed? Your old
Alabaster?
mentor?
I assume he would want to see me to remove the stain from his record. He doesn't need to hear about how dark that stain is.
Have you told Duncan how dark that stain is?
How
You've
dark
sullied his
is
name as well.
Kind of now, kind of spinning my chair a little bit, so it almost appears as though I'm sitting with Vonders, and like there's a split in the room. Please do tell.
Some of my stuff, so Alexa, I will let the evidence speak for me. if you're as good as you say, I will be able to confirm and acknowledge that your evidence is correct. My well, Duncan, in my line of work, I've never pretended to be anything else.
She reaches into a drawer on the desk and pulls out a stack of papers. And at the top, Duncan, you see that five-petaled star, or five-petaled flower.
Flower that I have a rubbing of.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Dubois, all we would need is your testimony.
Testimony of what? Up until this point, I've actually mostly never seen him commit any crimes that I myself wasn't a part of as well. But we did serve our sentence for that. We did the crime, we did the time. All 5 days of it. As I'm kind of looking through these papers, is there anything else, like details that I see of these atrocities?
GM, how thorough? How thorough
I heard
is
a thick
the
stack
Sabres? Is
on the
the Sabres
table.
investigation? Because I will happily fill in the
Cooperate.
details.
I'll provide my own testimony in my prosecution.
Yeah.
I will speak as the documents.
There are several facets of your organization represented within these documents. Toward the top of the stack are the pruners.
Pruners.
You see profiles of several individuals through the pile. There are notes with different investigations that are referenced, where you would assume she would have reports of those incidences. There's a decent section on Brunn, and the time he spent outside of Kahlo. Before and after, we'll say. His departure. Before you go into detail, Evan, roll an investigation.
Absolutely.
Just to see how much you can glean from this stack of papers in the time that you have. Anybody else who wants to snoop on what's in this pile, absolutely also roll an investigation.
It'll be a 16.
Anyone else? Okay. Curtis, if you would, what's a 16 get him?
16. Duncan, you had seen Brunn do a little extra rummaging. Did Duncan see Brunn pick up any coin? I
don't believe so. Besides us doing the domestic terrorism thing, I don't think I've actually witnessed you doing any crimes.
Okay.
And that's the only reason you're still in this group. I know that you're a criminal, but I suspect you're a criminal.
Taking money
I don't
from
actually have any evidence. And that's one of our big things is you have to have evidence before you can prosecute a crime.
I believe you were not subtle when you were looting the Rat Man.
I think I was unconscious.
I think those two saw it. Thane, I think, was the only member of the group who did not when that had happened.
I believe you also took money from a corpse in the streets. One of the vendors that you had passed by.
Rummaging through the vendors as I don't know if
recall
Duncan
if
said
Duncan
anything
specifically
about
saw
it.
that one.
But so having not had any real hard evidence of Brunn's wrongdoing, but a general sense that this man is very comfortable in violence. And as you are flipping through, you see, we'll go reverse chron. Working for an organization called the Gardeners and coming across as one of the heavy hitters, one of the bruisers, and one of the very near the top of the order, though not really given a ton of necessarily leadership. Brun is the person that is called upon specifically for troubleshooting. He solves problems, he deals with some high value creditors, and there is a not insignificant number of deaths that seem to have been caused by someone with very, very large hands and a capacity for violence. Burglaries, just break-ins and destruction, working with larger crime rackets, anywhere essentially that the gardeners gain an influence. There are reports of someone that kind of matches Brun's description, walking around in that city, and it's very hard to necessarily pin anything, but the fact that there is a lot of collaboration, and especially when you connect it with the whole picture of the gardener, serving as also sort of assisting in that overtake of if there's an organization already in the city and the gardeners are going in, Brun is usually there to knock heads together and get them to change and join forces with. There is a gap where there is just very, very little information. And then there is reports of Brun in the city. Still going by Brun. But under a different last. Brun Sinef. Who served under Domra Mutar the Alabaster, a knight of the Solar Order of Paladin. And the reason for Brun's dismissal from the Knights of Seirani is not mentioned in these documents.
Just for the record, so Brun did criminal bad stuff, then left the city, then came back to join the Solar Knights?
Brun left the Solar Knights, and then next time we saw him, he was in the throes of the Gardeners and was breaking into places, brutalizing and murdering people, and taking money from generally children and the elderly.
Permission to speak, sir. This is Thane talking to Duncan.
Granted, as I'm kind of still looking through these documents, trying to grasp my head around this person I don't even know standing in the back of the room.
So there is nothing in those documents that matter right now. We are on a mission. We cannot forget the reason why we are here. Each one of us plays a part in that mission. There will come a time when the petty criminals and not so petty criminals will find justice under the Vidarians or someone else. But that time is not right now. We are here for a reason. We are here to find allies, not to lose the allies we have.
Interesting allies you find around you.
Interesting indeed. And you call yourself one of Pyvel's peasers. We're still working shopping at, ma'am.
A little bit of a quirked eyebrow.
I agree with Thane. I just, if we're not going to be honest with each other, what are we even doing here? What is this? Kind of pointing to the stack of paperwork.
Duncan, are you aware of the recent incident involving a gargoyle?
I have heard about it. I saw people were talking about it in the streets. Honestly, I didn't even think gargoyles could be destroyed.
They can, especially when the gardener's people
Really?
are involved.
Are the
They're threatening the
gardeners
city.
working with the garbanzos?
Gartranos, I assume you mean?
Oh, yes, yeah. Sorry, the Gartranos.
We are under the impression that they are. And here you gallivant with a member of them.
Truthfully,
Ma'am, what is
I
the
did not know.
What is the Vidarians' stance on people who own other people as property?
I can take
The
this one,
attention
or-
finally turns to you, Thane. She's mostly been ignoring you and Navos. A very strongly worded question. Please elaborate. In what context are you speaking? You
There's a
seem to have
sizable
something in mind.
there's a sizable portion of residents in this city who are actively owned by the most influential families within the city. One of the reasons why we are being hunted down, why there are bribes for us, is so we could be thrown into the service of one of these families. This city is built upon people who own other people as property. What is the Vidarian stance on such a thing?
People are not owned in this city. They make choices. They choose who backs them. A good portion of the people in this entire district are part of one such family. She pushes a piece of fabric off to the side to reveal a pendant. One moment. Doodly doodly doo. Do 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 do.
The economics.
Kanab.
Economics.
Thank you for answering our question, ma'am.
It is not an ownership. It is an allyship.
Do the people who walk the noose share that perspective?
There are many who travel our city. It is not for me to decide what they do or do not believe. We keep the people here safe. That is our duty. We go forth into the field. We stay close to home. We send our forces where they are needed. The outlying towns, your Alrith and beyond. We train them so they are prepared. Sharp look at Duncan. We ensure they have the skills and resources necessary to keep people safe. It is not our choice what that safety looks like, necessarily. That is for higher-ups. What I am striving to do is eliminate this gardener who has created problems across the continent, encouraging criminal activities, ruining lives.
Of
With the With the
I see-
testimony, I request of Mr.
Go ahead
Dubois
and-
here.
The paperwork. Do I see any like people's names on any of these paperwork?
What kind of names are you looking for?
Names of victims.
Victims?
Victims in particular. Yeah.
The survivors, people who don't walk so good no more.
Essentially, victims of like kind of lifting
Of
that paper
Brun
to show to
specifically?
Yeah, victims of Brun. Yes, specifically, because he asked whose lives. I'd like
And
to show
are
him.
you-
I'd like to
are you
present to
looking
him the
for-
lives.
Names that you might recognize, or just
No, just names I would recognize as victims of Brun. I wouldn't know these people, but
Actually,
there are
clarifying question.
sure.
Actually, I'm gonna DM it to you because this may be relevant.
Ooh,
Um,
whispers.
yeah, sidebar.
Sidebar.
talk
I don't
amongst
think we really had
yourselves.
any sidebars recently.
With the testimony I'm requesting of Mr. Dubois, we would be taking out a strong arm of the gardener, severely weakening the organization. Do, 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 do.
While we're talking and distracted, and Alexis is reading it. Look, guys, I made our band poster.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, I saw that.
Is that clean?
Oh no, what have you done?
I mean, honestly, our band name would
What
be
am I looking
Milord.
at?
Their hair
The
all
fastest
done up,
Photoshop in the West.
a Freddie Mercury mustache.
I realized after I had put Duncan in the middle that I picked the one guy that you can see both of the hands, and I was like, God damn it!
There are several cases attributed to a Brun in this folio, in this compilation. There is one from Alrith.
Is
A
it someone
certain tiefling who was strangled in a stable.
Oh, the what's her name?
Piraeus.
Piraeus.
Damn, that's very thorough.
So as Brun asks, whose lives have I ruined? I'll look at that sheet. I'll see Piraeus' name, and I'll reach into my pocket, and I'll pull out a wedding ring. I'll just kind of toss it onto the desk. These lives, Brun.
Point of order. I believe you left that ring with the seeds planted by the river.
Mhm.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind. I didn't pull that ring out at all.
Oh, but that
I'll
was
just-
such a good moment, though. Fucking.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's. I was
I'll-
like, wait, was. Did Duncan
Slipping that
have a thing?
paper.
Unless you
over-
want to say that you went back and reclaimed it before continuing
didn't.
on.
It's in the paperwork
No.
because the Velis Vidar are that thorough. They dug it
Mhm.
up.
That part is
Yeah.
not in there. The ring is unknown, but
Showing him the paperwork. Poor. Piraeus was such a sweet person. The kids adored her. How much testimony would you need, ma'am?
I am not a judge, Mr. Dubois. I don't know.
So Piraeus had turned. And Thane did know this because Thane was the one that was
Mhm.
there. Like not in the room when it happened, but next door, literally right next door.
Mm-hmm.
Piraeus had turned, like so many others had turned. And that is why we are here. Is to stop more from turning. If we get sidetracked and distracted,
Brun
then more
puts
people
a
wind up
hand
like pirates.
on Thane's shoulder. Look at him. Like speaking to Thane, like not looking at Duncan. It's gonna take unfortunately, more than any of us to change that mind. The Alabaster had the same face a couple of times. Never worked. Didn't matter how right you were.
We know, Duncan.
Do you? Do you know Piraeus? Do you know the beautiful murals she used to draw and the way that she would just, her face would light up when the kids would see her? Did she ever show you that face? Did you ever see her on a quiet night reading a book in her kitchen with the window open? I bet you didn't.
You're right, I didn't. Did you see what she had become in that stable, Duncan?
We don't know what she would have become or what
No,
she
you
could have been.
don't know what she had become. And we don't know what else could have happened. But I made the best choice I could.
No, you made the only choice you know. Kind of looking at the other paperwork where it just says the same thing over and over again. You only have one option and you use it every time.
And that's never been a problem until you have an issue with it. The times that all of us have saved your fucking useless ass.
Run.
Hey, I did not ask for this. But I'm going to do this in a way that I can go to bed and sleep at night.
Sure.
Ma'am,
You figured out a way to do it with your recruits. I'm sure you can find a way to do it with me.
There was an Inquisition held in Ulrich. There is record of this Inquisition. Is that amongst the documentation?
Who was your inquisitor?
Jebka.
Jebka.
Brun will read all, will still staring at Duncan recite her entire title.
That one is an individual that we are not tied to. She is part of Seirani's.
That is correct.
We do not have those records. Though I will be putting in a request for a copy.
Brun and the rest of us have faced trial once, 1.5 times, maybe another when we returned the city, when we arrived here. If you find those records, you will find all of us standing at one another's side, because we knew that we were up against something bigger than any of us, or our pasts, or our mistakes, or the things that we failed to live up to. We can be better. We are here for a reason. You need to let us finish that reason, please.
She's kind of settled back in her chair a little bit. Still very proper. The strong bearing is still there. Kind of folds her hands in front of her on the desk. You have heard my request. You have requested aid. I will do what I can to help you, if you are willing to help me in return. I believe my family put an offer in for you.
I believe
Have you
they
considered
did.
it?
Can I ask you a question? And truthfully, I do not mean any disrespect.
Kind of a hand gesture. Go ahead.
If you were given an order by this family of yours, they went against the very tenets that make you a Vidarian paladin, would you follow it?
I would. They guide us. They fund our efforts. And for the choices that I may not agree with, the greater good has benefited from their support. And if that is what I must sacrifice in order to continue our work and continue keeping the people of this place safe, that is mine to bear.
And I'll kind of put those papers down into the stack, kind of look at her. Thank you for your time, ma'am. Navos, I believe you owe Brun 10 silver, and I'll move to the door.
She puts the paperwork back in her desk, gestures toward the door. Good luck out there. I hope
luck to you,
that
mate.
this is a decision you can come to terms with.
I hope that you can come to terms with yours. And I'll give her an emboldened Vidarian salute.
She
And
returns
leave
it.
the room.
Brun.
I don't particularly care if anybody follows me or not.
Thane goes where his captain goes.
What has Navos been up to this entire time?
You just kind of sit there. What the fuck? Oh my God, we're fighting.
Dad and Dad are
So
fucking
on my
going
way.
at it.
Fuck you, Dad.
I'm just thinking the entire, like, I don't know. I still have the zine on me, hands gripped on it, like knuckles clenched, going between nerves as well as anger, trying to make a decision on what to do next, has some kind of idea, but would like to wait until Duncan leaves and gets ready to leave and wants to turn to Vonders and say, I can't speak for what you choose to do, and not like I have any right to, but even without Duncan being part for so long, he has been helping the next generation. He does not need to teach the initiates here. He is teaching the future on how to be good people in his own way. I can't say what I am willing to do, but he needs the freedom. He has given enough. And I will leave.
Before you step out, she will give you a kind of a pause motion. Ask him what he wants. Many who serve as captains and such, many who train and lose their own, find it difficult not to dwell on the faces they no longer can find. When they have an opportunity to make right those wrongs they've committed, it is hard to give that up. You all know where to find me.
One thing. I didn't know there were pruners in this city till just now. And you and I both know there's only a few reasons they show. If you want the testimony, put me away. Kind of leans forward. Your clock ticking. And he will he'll do the fist in the center and then pop a middle finger and just sort of jerk his head to Navos to leave in front of him in case she throws a knife, as we've seen earlier today.
Different Dragonborn, gosh.
No,
Not all Dragonborn.
I'm walking out. My head's just shaking. Like, you're not helping. Like, please.
But
I will see every last one of you locked away to rot.
TikTok.
Run while you have the chance. And
Brud will. Is there any glass in her door?
not in her door. It's a solid wooden door.
Brud is going to. You know what? Brud's gonna be petty. Brud's gonna leave it open. He's like gonna go to close it and then leave it open and walk away.
Absolutely.
The last few things she had said to you, you could feel a bit of heat at your back and smell just a bit of smoke in the room. And
Good.
yeah. The door left open. You can just feel the annoyance roll out of the room behind you. Like, she's hit it very well, but whether you're imagining it or not, you can feel that annoyance.
I did it specifically because Vox did it to the boss. And I knew how much it got the boss's goat, and it's like, all right, buddy, I got you.
Leaving the office building, like as you're all walking out the hallway, you hear that patter of feet again, and like very quick like communication between that halfling that had gathered you and you assume Vanders, and then the very gentle closing of the door, like you don't want to wake whatever atrocity is inside. You peek in, see a thing, and you're like, nope, and you close it very gently. That's the kind of close of this door behind you. The secretary doesn't bother to say anything to you as you leave. You can see she's talking to what appears to be a Twistwind runner. Probably sending for someone else. And you are not stopped on your way out. You return to
the Vidarian. Sorry, without leaving the Vidarian stronghold. It is important in our culture to anoint ourselves. We do it frequently to remember our tenets. Is there an open anointment room in the stronghold? It's been a while since Duncan has done his armor in at his getting a little
not
tricky.
in this office. However, when you were heading toward the training fields, you saw there were several buildings kind of surrounding the area, and you saw kind of an open air workshop almost, where
Okay.
you can tend your armor. And you had seen several people who were kind of buffing the leather of their armor, making sure everything is well oiled,
Thane's gonna
polishing
grab
the
the
metal.
fire book on the way out as well.
You're gonna sneak into the waiting room number 2 and yoink that? Absolutely.
Try to continue. to
It
write
is
them.
yours.
Yeah.
And without even like looking back to see if Thane and Navos run are following, I think I'm gonna head towards that kind of opened air stronghold kind of thing where they're doing the armor weapons, just to kind of clear my mind for a minute. Do something that at least I know will calm me down.
The continued sounds of fighting embrace your ears. You can smell the bodies out here. They are rank as they've been out in the sun all day, working hard. It's kind of this white noise for the area, almost. This just kind of background sound that eventually you stop hearing. Your focus is direct. And there are a couple of people who are sat there just chatting about the day a little bit. It seems that they are currently on a break from their sparring. And as you approach Duncan, they make room for you. They have no idea who you are, it seems, but that doesn't matter. They see your insignia. They see that you're heading here for what they assume is the same purpose that they have. And you are quietly welcomed. One of them offers you a rag to polish your armor. They kind of introduce you to the space, like, here's what this is, or here's where this is, yada, yada, yada. And small talk. They don't know you, but they don't need to feel comfortable with you being there. One of them mentions about, never quite seen that insignia. Where are you from? Which division are you?
I'm from a chapter quite a ways away from here, just in a pit stop of Callow before I head back. I was hoping to do the anointment, kind of get my armor back up to snuff. It's been a while. The road's been long, and I think I need that kind of armor right now.
You must have been seeing something pretty bad while you're out there. Kind of gestures with his left hand. Gonna return? Keep fighting the good fight?
As much as I want to say no, that's what we're here for, isn't it?
Get like a hearty laugh, a round of agreement, kind of like bash you on the shoulder a little bit, like, yeah, it's the spirit. Good on you, old man, that kind of thing. It's very broy. There's a lot of camaraderie kind of built in. What are the rest of you doing? Are you following Duncan? Are you straying?
Thane's just waiting outside, giving him his moment.
Yeah, I'd like to turn to Brun. Those doors and pages, are they everywhere? Or is it just there?
Like where Tar was?
Yes. They were attuned with something. would they perhaps be in the family's houses as well?
I mean, GM, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would have no idea because that's a Gartrano. Is that's specifically that feels like a Gartrano thing more than a Gardner thing.
It does strike you very much as a Gartrano thing.
Yeah.
If you would like,
I would.
you
love
could make
to.
me some kind of roll.
So here's my pitch. Every organization runs things a little differently, but having a place that has those connections and having that sort of network is not uncommon through the city. I would love to, with possibly a maybe survival. I could see history. I could see possibly an insight of just like, I don't quite understand it, but knowing how most other organizations and how Kahlo works, I'm certain to take a shot and see if it would be possible.
History feels good.
History feels good.
Maybe an insight even?
Okay. Insight would be better, because my insight's better than my history.
I would grant you insight.
Please grant me insight. That is a 19 on the die, plus 1 for a dirty 20.
Considering the list of places Vox said he would not go because of heavy Gartrano population, you could deduce from that there would be some way for them to access many of those places as well.
If it's
Having an access point in Klang would be bold, but not impossible. If they are a well enough organized group, which they do seem to be, they would have places everywhere they should not be.
A network like that takes time and effort to put up. That's not something you throw up overnight. And of course, every house wants to that they're untouchable, so of course you're going to try and have a doorway into some rich Tosh's closet. If nothing else than for blackmail on the person, on the individual, or just a way to...
All right. I was trying to think
What are you
of
thinking?
some other ways to go about this. I didn't want to. I did not need to butt in during that, and we're gonna need another way. If I can get to the Selphasari, if there's some way I can take the samples and leave. But we can think about that more. Some way to just sneak in and out. Because
Nivos.
for myself, I am not speaking on you. You held up for me first.
Because you didn't do anything wrong.
There is commotion. Oh, go ahead.
To me, you have shown me nothing but kindness so far. I do not need to speak on your past. If something happens, the tides will turn. But for now, I want to keep as a group.
There is a commotion at the far side of the field. You can see from where you are a crowd gathering. People are starting to shout questions of what happened. Get the clerics. stuff like that. Information is starting to spread to the outer reaches of the crowd, where people are like, what's going on? And then being filled in, and it spreads and spreads and spreads. Little game of telephone starting at the core. You see people start running in various directions. Somebody headed for that office that you had left. People dipping into other buildings. You would assume other offices or what have you. Kind of rallying the troops, as it were. One person starts heading for the main gate. That is... Boop. That one. You see, actually, a couple of people start heading for that. And...
Thane's just going to lean in to where Duncan is anointing himself with the bros. And you should come out here, sir.
The bros have started donning their armor. They heard commotion. They know it takes time to properly attach all of your pieces. And they dropped what they were doing in order to start that process. The jovial nature of your interactions with them has dropped. They are now serious. Something's going on. And they are responding as quickly as they can.
Without even hesitation, because the anointment process takes a little bit of a time. So I probably haven't even started it yet.
You got like the van brace going, and that's about it.
No, even because you would have to like lay out the nice silk. You put all your pieces of equipment on it, then they all get dunked. It's a whole process. It's all
Of course.
Yeah. So I probably even hadn't started that. I was just kind of talking to them, hearing this commotion. Definitely would join my brothers in arms to go help, especially if I heard the term called the clerics. That's not who I am, or I'm not a cleric, I mean, but that's in my ballpark.
Somebody get a doctor.
I think he took the guy's wallet.
Before long, you saw those people start to disperse. The crowd kind of make its decision and start moving into action. There's an alarm that begins from the gate. You hear the alarm picked up by the other spots along the walls. Those positions where gargoyles tend to congregate. Signals are going out and around, at least this district. You're not quite sure how far through the city it's traveling.
Does Brun recognize the signals, or have they changed since his...
They are very similar.
Okay.
It is a call to arms.
Any specifics on the nature of the threat? Is it inside? Is it outside?
Gargoyles required.
Ooh.
High priority. High danger.
And black fibers. Monsters.
With the crowd starting to move, you can see a gargoyle. Decently sized. That is half shattered. They seem to have crash landed. Just a bit away from this training field. Maybe they were on their way to the office district or the office section here, trying to find someone to report to. You're not sure. They have sustained heavy damage. There are chunks missing from them, from their form. Their blood is not red, but you can see kind of a shimmer almost to this kind of clearish liquid. And inside, where these chunks are missing, you see almost like a geode. There's some kind of core material. These shards of mineral. and it is pouring this blood equivalent. Healers are brought. Because it's a gargoyle, they are doing their best, but the healing process is a little weird. They can't recreate everything that's missing. That would take an enormous amount of magic that they do not have access to here and now. But they staunch what they can, stabilize as best they can, and then start hauling this gargoyle away. You're not sure where. They are headed further into the center of the district, more this direction, which would lead to Middle Pages.
Run has kind of watched all, not rushing in to help. There's enough goody two shoes hands in that proverbial pot.
Is there any sign of what could have possibly done this to this gargoyle around?
I mean, it doesn't look the same brand of damage from the gargoyle that we had passed on the way in here.
Sorry, that's Middle Tomes. The gargoyles that you've seen, in general, share a very similar appearance, very similar attributes. Yes, they come in various sizes, shapes, and design, but there is a sameness that kind of runs through. You would assume they're all related if you knew what a family connection was. If that makes sense. What was the other question?
If there was any sign or evidence of the thing that shot them.
Yeah, and if it looked like it was the same thing that destroyed the one we had seen.
Is there a projectile on the ground? Is there a big anti-gargoyle cannon sitting in the back of a wagon?
Funeral
maybe 15
cart
feet away from
somewhere.
us?
That got destroyed in process. No. You're not quite sure what caused this level of destruction.
Okay.
It does not look like a projectile. No cannonball did this.
I don't think we heard anything.
You didn't. All you heard was the commotion that kicked up. You saw... Well, give me a medicine check to see if
Yep,
you can
absolutely.
determine the nature of their wounds.
I think I'm trained in medicine.
Anybody who
That
wants to
is
make this roll.
that is a nat 20 plus 4 for a 24.
Goodness.
I'll let him have it.
Duncan knows his medicine.
Claws and teeth.
Claws and teeth.
These are not weapon-made wounds.
Mhm.
These are not clean and precise cuts and attacks. This is somebody who has been mauled by beasts. You four, being outsiders in the midst of this uproar, are corralled by one of the recruits, one of the trainees. You need to get out of here. If you head to the next gate over, you should be able to make it through safely. We can't defend you while you're here, if that makes sense. Please. And tries his best to kind of push you out the door, basically.
Thank you.
We cannot have civilians here.
What armor is this kid wearing? This recruit. Is he Velas Vidar or is he
This one's Vidar.
this one's Vidar?
You were right next to their training
Yeah,
grounds.
that's true. That's true. That makes
Mm.
kind of okay. And as I go, sort of look up to see if our lovely Saber is looking out the window at the ruckus. If she has.
While you were trying to gather what the crowd was up to, you assume that when that runner ran in, she mobilized very quickly. So you're not sure if she's still in there, if she's around the area, what she's doing.
Okay. Yeah, Brun will.
Yeah, don't go take the advice and leave.
Good. Go on now, get. You make
Promptly
your
giving it
way.
and kind of leaving in a way that doesn't kind of put him with the rest of the band. He's not sure he wants to be part of Pieble's Peacekeepers.
Ooh.
You are ushered toward Feeders, the Orange District there.
Mm-hmm.
The people at the gate are on alert, but they're not really checking who you are. Even with Navos being fairly obvious, they are much more occupied, I'll say, with the alarm that's going off. You can see people running across the tops of the walls. Beyond that, you're not entirely sure what the threat is, just that you're being pushed out in order to keep all of you safe. Is there anything else anybody wants to be doing while you're still in Klang? There are several other people who are being pushed out of Klang as well. There are medical individuals who are, you would assume, run from your time here, field medic trainees.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be very helpful in an actual combat just yet.
Yeah.
You see a lot of the fresh-faced ones, the ones who haven't been training very long. They are all being funneled out with you as well and spat out into feeders. On the other side of the wall, they can still hear the alarm that's going off. People are still responding. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of fear. That's kind of been the theme every time you've been out in the crowds. Give me one moment. My streak continues. I still can't roll below 70. In the kerfuffle, this exchange through this gate. Let's see who's got the... Duncan, you spot the Talmuths. You spot a few of them that are heading toward the wall where there is no gate. They're not bothering with the gate. And as they continue forward, you catch a glow, some kind of hand motion, a glow, and the wall splits for just long enough for them to pass through. It seals right up behind them as if it never had changed. What are you all planning to do now that you've left playing?
Uh,
Would you like to go find somebody else? Are you returning for the day? You still haven't found Vox. He was supposed to meet you to check in to see what you wanted him to be doing.
What time of day is it?
Late afternoon, early evening.
I think a large portion of that, not to throw it at Evan, but I think a large part of it depends on what Duncan does, and if Duncan, once we're all on the other side of the gate.
Yeah, Thane's going to try to like find somewhere quiet where we can debrief what just happened. If Duncan is willing to do that.
It's late afternoon.
It's
Probably
tea
won't be
time.
getting much. Yeah, it's much more. Well, I'm thinking that we're not probably gonna get much more done with today's or the rest of the night or the sun that's left for today. Duncan is going to look for maybe not the nicest, but not really the squalorest either. Kind of tavern or in-house. The safe house isn't safe anymore, but he just needs somewhere to be, just kind of exist for a moment and collect his thoughts.
You find Avern.
Tavern.
We can.
And I'll head that way.
We can change our face and buy a room for all of us for tonight, and then the rest of you can sneak into said room, and then we'll have somewhere safe that's different from our normal safe house. Probably safer than going back through the gate.
Duncan, I don't know if he's really concerned right now. He's kind of upset, obviously finding about Brun, but realizing that the Vidarians haven't changed. They're the same that they have always been, or at least they're the same that they've been evolving into. And he just wants to go.
Hey, Duncan, we can be upset and talk about what just happened. You're allowed to be upset, but you're not allowed to be dead. You're not allowed to be dead. And if we get hunted down again tonight,
I don't know if that matters. We're back at square one again, and I just every corner we turn, it's just more. It's just more. It just doesn't end. It
was Vidar not tested? Were there not obstacles between where he started and where he is now?
Yeah, you are correct. Vidar was tested, but I'm not Vidar. I am just an old man.
But you've chosen to live your life by his example.
And now I'm
And
choosing to go get
give up.
And I'm going to walk to the bar to go get a drink.
I think that's when I feel like Brun at least has been keeping a little bit of a distance from Duncan. And that's when, we'll come. I don't know if Navos is sticking with Brun or if we're 2 and 2s, but that's when we come in, see Thane, see Duncan. And I turn to Thane and I go, 15, right?
Yeah, and it was.
Drinks are on you.
Drinks are on. No, we were betting. We were betting that he would be disappointed. You took the bet.
Hey, I will.
Yeah, nice try.
We'll reach out.
One more thing to add to your ledger, right?
This one I'll pay, and I'll just put 2 gold on the table for our.
Before Thane goes inside, they are going to. I think they've been wearing a different face this entire time.
I believe you were disguised as a
As like a merchant, or like as
merchant.
the as someone who's working with the Duarte family.
As
Me
me
lord.
lord.
Yeah.
That's his name is
Every
me. And
Thane's
the
going
eye.
to take the money that Brunt just laid down and see if that's enough for a room that all of us could be in. I'm purposely like separating myself from the rest of the group. Like I don't want it to seem like I'm associated with them, that I'm getting the room for them, but just a room.
Yeah,
If you have a
easy
room that
enough.
comfortably fits 4 men, but it's just going to be me.
It's not weird. Don't worry about it.
I need
It's
a
just
lot of
gonna be me.
space.
We need to finish anointing. We were interrupted last time.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
You, me,
So yeah,
tomorrow.
Thane's gonna get the room for the night, and then with whatever money is left over, if there's anything left over, they're gonna grab a round for the group.
Yeah, you manage. The room is yours. Drinks are yours. Whatever food you'd like to order only costs a couple silver for a plate. The mood in this place, being so close to the alarm and such, is subdued. People aren't quite sure what's happening, but there's been a lot of that going on. A lot of uncertainty, a lot of information that's not being shared to the people. You hear some dissent. You hear people griping about, we haven't been able to leave for days. We've been stuck inside. We can't do this, can't do that. Supplies are hard to get right now. They're not even letting merchants in. This, that, the other thing. You hear mutterings of damned collars. It's the only thing keeping us safe, though. Back and forth. People who are dissatisfied with what's happening, but not to the point where they will act out to try and do anything about it. It's people who are tired and exhausted and scared that have been building this up for days. And though they are saying it in a public place, they're still keeping quiet about it because you never know who will be listening. You are served. You can drink as long as you want to. But the evening is yours.
Are there, with us being somewhat close to where the Vidarians stay, are there any members of the Order here that are here like on their off time or
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one
Yeah.
who's getting a drink.
Yeah.
the one that's not the one I'm
Me.
here with?
Yeah, there are
Thane.
a few trainees. It's not just Vidarians. A lot of those people that were shoved out with you, they need to find a place to stay because they normally stay in Klang. That's typically where their barracks are. But with an unknown threat in there, they have been sent to the backlines, basically, to hold out. So they're going to go wherever's closest in case whatever should happen, if they would happen to be called in, like brought back in for some reason. Very small chance of it, but there is a chance. So it's not just Vidarians, though. There are people of basically all of the different pantheons. Some you're familiar with, some you're not familiar with. You don't see any others of the Celestial Collective. And there's a
Thane's
variety.
just going to go around with the prayer book that they can't read because it's celestial. Excuse me, I was given this book as a gift. Does anyone know how to read this? It was given from a very good friend of mine. I would like to know. I'm looking for something, and I'm just asking around to see who reads celestial.
You find a few people. There is a cleric. Doodly doodly doo doo doo. Byreel, the guiding hand, goddess of the herd. Byreel.
And at this point, at some point, Thane has changed into like an older man, older than Duncan even, and
He's so old.
we're looking for something that's in here that maybe is about not giving up, no matter how bad things look. My body doesn't work the way that it used to. I'm incontinent. Nothing quite is how it was. I had grand visions and grand ideas of who I wanted to be, what I wanted to do with my life. But is there anything in here that could speak to me?
Point of order before any rolls or anything are made. There is a reason why it's in Celestial. These are sacred texts and not meant for everybody to just read.
So
Unless
it's
Duncan steps in to stop this.
It's less of a hymnal and more like the Dead Sea Scrolls, kind of like on a level of importance.
We chant them in Celestial so that Vidar may hear us. We do it in perfect chant so that the words aren't degraded in any fashion.
Which that's what Muslims do with the Quran in the original Arabic. It doesn't get translated. But Thane is trying to. They didn't know they weren't supposed to have this book, but whatever. They want to
probably
see
has
if
the property of somebody written in the
if anyone
inside.
could point a passage and maybe transcribe for them a passage that would speak to what he is looking for.
Yeah, so Cleric of Byreel, Guiding Hand. He kind of takes a look at it. He's like, this is Vidarian text. Let me look.
Yes, my friend is one of them.
Kind of like looks around a little bit, like, interesting. Okay.
My friend gave me
He's
this
not
message
here.
You do not ask. I see. And Duncan, you hear some of your holy texts being spoken aloud, translated.
I was hoping like kind of on. I don't know how busy this place was, but I was hoping just to find a page that I could
he's like
set it aside.
He's giving you snippets, like something like this. It talks about valor and battle and blah blah blah. Sorry, I do not say blah blah blah.
Blah, blah, blah. It's a vampire.
like,
fucking kill it.
Get him.
You hear him like he's chatting with you about the different pages he's finding. Like, is this what you're after? Maybe something more like this, giving you options. Just snippets.
Anything that if I'm not able to perform the way that I used to, if there's something in there that would make me be like, oh, those were the good old days, and just keep on trying.
Perhaps this page here. It talks of past glory. Not so past, but continued into current day. Dwelling not on old things, but keeping memory and pursuing new things. And he'll write you out he'll annotate in the margins.
Yeah, no, separate page.
I took the Pope's Bible and did notes in the margins.
There's a nun picking dicks off a tree. Good old marginalia.
Sorry, Dan will just tuck that away after.
Yeah, he's got paper made of like bark, basically. It's fairly sturdy, and it holds up well to the charcoal he's using. And he'll pass that back to you. He'll also he goes to dog ear the page just so you know which page it was. He's kind of looks at you, thinks better of it as you're reaching out to stop him. is this page, and kind of puts your thumb like directly in the page so you don't lose it.
Oh, thank you so much. You're too kind.
If you need suppositories are available to help with passage. There are good apothecaries in Kalo. You may find help there. If you should
Okay,
want.
we'll try prayer first. And
Thoughts and
Dave's
prayers
just gonna-
they are not a substitute for medicine. Keep that in mind. Especially in a place like this, where magic and prayer a little reduced. But good luck. Good luck.
and Thane's gonna
Raises
wander
a
off.
glass to you, just kind of cheers, mate. Goes back to conversation. Talking about, that was a weird one, but you know what? He seemed happy. Maybe it's not just incontinence. Maybe he's also a little delusional. That's okay.
And Thane will disappear to the room that we have picked out, and wherever Duncan is going to be, they're just going to lay out the book with that page kind of open, change back to how they were previously, and then go back out to join the others.
Yeah, back down there. Duncan, when you've got your drink,
And
Where-
it is going to be like a highball whiskey, something strong. Not
so when
a
you
beer.
when you turn around with your second drink, because I feel like Duncan is having
Just
just the first one. Okay,
The first one.
just the first one. When you turn around, the table where Thane was at, like the table where you last saw Thane, Brun is now there. I don't know if Navos has joined me, but Brun is sitting, sort of with his back, sort of in the booth, pretty well centered in it. So like he is filling that whole space, and just kind of looking out at the room, in general, but does make eye contact with you as you like. There's the first like he wants to catch your eye when you turn around.
I will turn around, catch his eye, and see if there's an open table.
A different table.
A different table or a chair, perhaps by like the fireplace.
Call high or low.
Hi.
Okay. There is, in fact, a different table available.
I'd like to go sit out of it.
You get like a little two-top.
Yeah, that's all I want. A little toss, the smaller table.
Yeah. It's often
And I'll
kind of
just
the
kind of
corner.
sit there and hold my drink. Kind of look at it, swish it around in my cup a little bit.
I've been at the table with Brun, drawing in my journal. It's an 18. I'm trying to recreate the gardens from where I'm from how much I can remember. Finish it and eventually rip it out. Give Duncan some time, but would like to head over just for a moment.
You manage decent detail. Several of the plants are sketchy, they're vague, but you manage to recall a decent number of species and their details to the point where somebody who knows plants, you feel confident they would be able to identify these based on what you've created. The room is becoming more crowded as the day closes down, as curfew starts approaching. The scent of dinner is overwhelming in this space full of bodies. Lots of alcohol is flowing, even though there's danger. There's something about the tavern vibes, this small community that is forced together, that it's hard to stay completely dour in the middle of. And so people are finding what comfort they can. They're enjoying as much as they can while they're here, while they're stuck and can't do anything else. Because giving in to all of the feelings that you've been holding for the past several days, you can only do that for so long until something breaks that. So you end up hearing some music pick up. Somebody's kind of taken the corner to start playing low, slow songs, nothing too celebratory, tasteful, I'll say. And there's an empty seat with Duncan, but the rest of the tables are filled by this point.
Brun is you shoot like if people come to Brun's table, Brun does.
Hey, is this seat taken?
Brun just gives them the flat stare and is just like, keep moving. Doesn't say anything, but is giving the look of like, don't fucking ask.
They start asking about, is this chair available, with the intention of swiping it for their table, and they just kind of like, and keep walking.
Only for corpses.
The third person who does it, Brun will put a foot on it and just like rest his foot on it for a bit.
They look like they're ready to start something for a moment and then think better of it. Navos?
Please.
Duncan is in front of you. There's noise all around.
I walk over with the page ripped out and my mug full of prune juice. You haven't seen Navos drink at all. Usually it's just water. I hand out the page to Duncan.
Once you get crunk, it's prune.
Yeah. Thane, you might wanna start drinking that instead.
That will also keep you regular.
Koyana Yiri, the Untamed Sprawl. That's who I follow. Mine is similar. I followed her later in life. Not as a guard, but more as a sense of calm learned from my sister. This is what I can remember the gardens looking like, where we used to bury the seeds in the center city. I was always trying to gain more and more of the libraries of the people around me. But I never took in time to just sit and listen. And Lyra taught me how. If you have time, I would like to listen to yours.
And Duncan doesn't move up his head. He has been just staring at his glass filled with liquid. It looks untouched. And he just kind of continues to stare at it.
I don't know how often you do drink, but I don't recommend it in times like these. I've wasted too much of it doing it myself. Too many decades wasted not taking in enough. My memories are gone, not from its own part, but from doing this as well. And I'll set the page down on the table. Wait a few seconds and we'll head out if you'd like your time.
As you were walking away, my hand kind of moves from the glass to the piece of paper. My father became... He was a terrible drunk after my mother died. I understand why. I left when I was 16. I hated the smell of that place. It didn't smell like flowers after my mother died. I wanted to make a difference. I was going to be the hero that saved me. I didn't care how hard it was or how much of myself I had to give, because I was ready to give it all. I joined with the Vidarians to find purpose, meaning. I joined because they were out there making a difference. And I probably could have. But this world is cruel to men like me. It punishes us. I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I couldn't be a shining knight. I couldn't be a hero. And so I took a back seat to my dreams. I said, hey, if I can't do this, I'd show someone else how to do it. I'd be an instrument of Velos so that his song may be sung through someone else's voice. Everywhere I look, I can't hear any songs being sung. I can't see anything but everything I stood against happening to all manners of people who don't deserve it. And as much as I want to change those things, and as much as I need to change those things, I just feel so useless. I've always been useless. I've worked so hard for so very little. And for once, I thought that Here it is. Here is Duncan's grand moment. He'll. I don't know what I was thinking.
You haven't gotten enough respect here. And you may not feel like a hero to yourself, but I know a group of children that do. And they will think of you in times that pass.
I don't even know if they're alive. Just another group that I don't even know if they're alive.
Maybe they are. Maybe I can turn Jurgison back to who she was. Who knows? We've seen enough things so far that makes no sense. Why can't it be reversed? Before talking to Vonders, do you believe that you had given enough?
I gave everything I had. And then some. I kind of gesture to my hand that is gone now. Vidar is a hard faith to follow. And I knew that going in, and he isn't like the others. We don't... This isn't an open dialogue. It is a quiet faith. And for the longest time, I thought there was strength in this silence, and I think that it emboldened us. But sometimes I think he's just not listening.
That's where sometimes you need to sit with yourself. What do you want? What do you believe in? It's not motivation, but it's this dedication to yourself you have to keep putting in. Whatever you choose to do, I support, but I know me and at least someone else is here to help you. I think we can talk another one in. You have continued teaching all of us, even if you're not trying to.
I remember we used to have this trainee, Barney, and he was just the scrawniest thing you ever did see. Built like a toothpick. And I remember just laying into him. He would run drills more than the others. I'd have him sit in the cold waters longer than the rest. Because I didn't want to see him get hurt out there. It's a cruel world, and I bet he made a hell of a paladin.
I bet he did. Not just by himself, but with your help as well. If we do separate, what is your favorite flower?
That's easy. A lily. That was my mom's name. And she loved lilies. She would put them around the house, and she had a small garden in the back. I haven't been to her grave in some time. I think the lilies I left last are long wilted. I should probably go put some fresh ones on. She would like that.
I think so. We can tack that on. Thank you, Duncan.
I'll kind of slide that artwork back over to Navos.
No, please.
Thank you.
I'll set my hand on it. I'll tap you on the back. Keep it.
And I'll open my journal, take my journal, and kind of slide it in between the pages and close it and put it back. And I'll continue to stare at this full glass.
I'll return back to Brun. Just keeping an eye on Duncan for now.
I imagine Thane has rejoined the table at this point too.
Yeah, right around the time that Navos had made the comment of you have at least one more ally, or at least one more of us that wants to look out for you. That was when Thane had come back down and kind of like moves Brun's feet off of the chair. You know, we were really hoping to spare at least a couple Vidarians from having their heads wind up on spikes on the city walls when this whole thing is over here. It seems like there's going to be at least a couple of them. Bonders for sure.
You know the damnedest thing about Voldirge? I've spent Navos yapping. I've spent this whole time thinking of the two folks we met today. I don't know which one I have more in common with. And that's fucking weird. You know?
There will come a time when we will probably have to talk about baggage. That will be whenever you choose for us to have that conversation. We don't care. We think that, I mean, we don't mean this in a cruel way, but we think you are a scavenger, a vulture, a symptom of a broken system. We don't hold that against you. We don't necessarily see it as baggage, but other people in the party might, and that is something that it's going to cause problems if we don't talk about it.
What part of the system is broken? What part of the system chewed me up and spat me out, do you think?
We don't know your story yet, Brun. so we couldn't begin to tell you. Our guess is, well, our guess is that it's someone up at the top, spitting and pissing on the people below. And wherever you fell on that hierarchy, you ended up at the bottom, in the gutter with everybody else. But hey, there's a reckoning coming. And soon all those on the top will fall. And the only thing left up there, kind of pointing out to where the city walls are, will be the heads that we put on spikes. Hey, Navos is coming back.
I'll come back and find an empty seat if there is.
Yeah. There are seats for four. The Brunsfoot was on the fourth chair, so it didn't wander off.
Let's give him tonight for now.
We need to figure out our next steps. Because it feels like we burned through most of our bridges relatively quickly. And there are a few places for us to turn at this point.
Well, we are in feeders. Wasn't there somebody you two mentioned needing to speak to? I still have
Gartronos.
Gemmet.
We have one bridge
Lumbering
still left
slope.
today. We didn't burn both bridges today. Just the one.
I mean, it seemed pretty final when we were sent out onto the street
From whom? From Tar?
from our first. Yeah.
I'm working on that. Turning to Navos. I'm sorry, that list is going to get... But if we're going to get out of here...
I can't help you with it.
Didn't ask you to. I'm just letting you know. In case there's some kind of... and looking over to Thane. Reckoning coming my way.
We don't know the names of the people on that list.
I will.
We don't know the people behind the names.
Yes, we do. It's the Gartronos. And that is the closest thing we have to a truth.
We don't know if the Gartronos want to kill the right people, is the point that we're trying to make.
Who's the right people?
You know who the right people are.
Funny thing about taking a little off the top. How far down do you cut on a snake to make sure you cut off the whole neck? The head's easy, but where does the neck end? Because unless you completely gut the thing, the people at the middle become the people at the top. And if everybody's equal, who's enforcing the equality?
The Gartranos is another family, like all the rest. They are trying to improve their position by targeting others. Some of those people might deserve it, others do not. If they are members of the community and not people who are exploiting the community, that is different than the Alfozas. But that doesn't matter. What is for tonight, for our next steps? Do we want to do the Slumbering Slope? We're here. We're nearby.
I'd say
Shut up.
before I speak to Jemmet, probably. We also have the sewers. If it's constantly busy
Mhm.
outside, it might be a good time.
That's our vote, is the sewers, since we've seemed to have exhausted other things. And there's something to be said about getting to the city beneath this one. And maybe those in the sewers can point us in the right direction. And maybe there are fewer people hunting us down below. But the Slumbering Slope seems like a good... If you're already rubbing elbows with the underworld, we
Kinda,
probably shouldn't take him. Kind of nodding over at Duncan. He's seen enough of that.
I told Tars I'd take the names on my own. If any of you all come with me, those names will also be on you. As has been discussed at length today, I can live with that.
What are we hoping to gain by speaking to Sarlar?
That's a question for you.
Would Sarlor already know about our talk with Tars? Does it travel
Most likely.
fast?
If we were in a spot with the gardener, that word I would have reported back once that conversation happened if our places were reversed.
Who is it that we think that he's associated with? Is it with a group that we've already spoken to, or is it with someone new?
Tars or
No, the Sarlar at the
Sarlar.
Slumbering Slope. That's the name that we got from
that's right, we
the
did. Yeah, from the pickpocket that we bullied.
yes, yeah.
Got it.
So if it was a member of the crime community here, it probably would go back to the Gartranos, unless there's some other group that we're unaware of. But my thought is the Gartranos, they're like the organized mafia. Like they know what's happening in the city. There would be a group undercutting them in theory, unless it is the Gardeners.
No, Gardners don't have a foothold here. That's
Yeah.
why I offered Tars
Mhm.
a connection and possible agreement to give him a little firmer foothold. And
So
some
maybe the
support.
Slumbering Slope just isn't worth our time if we think that it's just following up on something we've already done.
Probably easier to find that than find Tars.
From here it is. We don't know how their doors work or how that list of yours works. Do you take a name off and then suddenly someone contacts you?
Usually I just get the list, work my way through it at a best possible speed.
Do you have the list now?
No, I need to pick it up. So that might be a good start.
Where?
either Tars or Slumbering Sloke.
So we probably do need to go there to get your list. If that's what you want to do.
That's what I said I'd do.
Hey, Duncan.
Amy?
That glass of yours,
Mm-hmm.
you see the moisture running down the sides of it. The surface of the liquid jolts with the activity of the room. People moving chairs and tables, and a few people starting to dance a little bit with the music. The chatter growing louder, quieter, coming and going. Somebody sits down at the table across from you. Human man. He's got his own mug. Looks
hate
like
to
a
be-
rough night for you.
I'm not good company tonight, my man.
I'd say you're actually the best kind of company for tonight.
Why's that?
Because I understand you, Dubois.
I don't think anybody understands me.
You and I have more in common than you might think.
Pray
Takes a
tell.
big takes a big drink. Well, for starters, we're both failed mentors. How many did you train? How many did you lose?
Many to count.
That's about it. You see him kind of like looking into his own drink. He's counting. He's trying. If you look at him, you'll see that he's dressed down, but he's clearly a soldier, a warrior. He's got kind of a goldish theming to him, very reminiscent of Seirani. Domra holds his hand out to you.
I'll take it and shake it.
It's firm. He's an older man. Say probably
I-
similar in age to you.
I shake likewise. We've kind of had an off day. Grip a little too hard.
Never gets
Okay.
easier, does it?
No,
We do our best to prepare them. That's all we can do, but our best
trying
for
anything.
them isn't always what they need.
yeah. Only it could be.
There'd be far fewer people we've lost if that was the case. What would you do if you had the chance to see them again? What if they had become what you'd never wished for them?
Truthfully, I would have wished they were dead.
Would be easier, wouldn't it?
It would.
Do you look for them too? Keep an eye on the crowds. Maybe you'll see that beaming young face again.
Every time.
He's looking out the window now. Kind of lost in memory a little bit. Be careful with that drink. It's far too easy to get lost in. It's better for everyone if we stick to the here and now. He does kind of like he starts to stand up, kind of the old man style of hands on knees. Kind of. I'm sorry to intrude on your evening. Came here with the best of intentions. Not necessarily to see you, though I'm glad we talked. But I'm not so sure I'm needed here right now. Have you been looking at him at all? How have you reacted to his appearance?
I looked at him, obviously, to kind of clock in who's talking to me, and when I shook his hand. I followed his gaze out the window, and as he's looking for these faces he'll never see, I kind of pretend I'm doing the same. And whether they're in the window or if I'm looking at them in the reflection in this liquor that's kind of sitting in front of me, and kind of seeing myself when I was a recruit and the spark that paladin had. And as it kind of fades back to who I was or who I am now, just kind of seeing that spark gone. And that's kind of all I've been looking at.
He goes to leave. You see him look at the room, that searching for faces. And for a moment, there's something else that crosses his face. But he kind of dismisses it and starts heading out. He leaves a silver piece on your table. Another round, if you'd like it. Makes his way through the crowd, and you see him just go. While you were looking outside, it's gotten darker. Curfew is just around the corner. There aren't really many people wandering the streets. But every once in a while you catch a glint of shining yellow eyes from the shadows of buildings. Just here and there. But then they blink and disappear. No form around them. Maybe it's from a long day, maybe you're tired, maybe it's just a trick of the light, you're not sure. But you get an uneasy feeling. He's gone and you are alone. Your companions are not far away, but maybe right now they feel forever away. Let us take a brief pause. About a 5-minute break. Come back, wrap things up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back
Back in 5.
5.
Dude, Duncan, did you just meet God?
Perhaps.
Did God just approach you in the bar?
Perhaps. Sounds like a setup for a joke.
See, Curtis has an answer to that, and I'm absolutely enthralled about it. But I shan't say more.
Man,
Can I
this
ask,
is
do you think Brun saw him?
Oh, I rolled. Brun did not.
Okay.
The name came up, and I was like, no, no. Yeah, Brun did not clock that conversation was happening, which is probably for everyone's benefit.
so you know who that person is.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like Derek knows
That name, the name was dropped earlier in the episode.
Was it?
Yeah.
Dumra?
Domra.
Dumra
Dumra?
Munter?
I missed that. Who
Domra
named him?
Mutar.
Mutar. That was who Brun was under in the Solar Knights before that gap.
Oh, that's right.
I had that name
That was
in my notes way back when.
yeah. That was Brun's old mentor talking to Duncan.
Wow. I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to write down that name. That's like, how am I going to spell that? I'm sure it won't come up again later. Man, that's crazy. We're just
Yeah.
disappointing people left and right.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just the Sad Dads Club. That's what we should be calling ourselves.
Listen, there's
Sad
space.
dads and disappointing sons.
There's space on the upper right corner of that picture. I will absolutely give us our band name when we get in there.
Oh man, I don't know. I was thinking that the big rift was going to be between Thane and Duncan at the end of this, but now it's feeling like Brun and Duncan.
Evan, holy Christ, 10 out of 10. Thank you. Early fucking stars. And also, on my end, we Gucci. No actual anger. Just clarifying that for the room.
I completely understand. We're good.
Yeah. Just
All Sarah and RP.
that's usually
yeah,
after
exactly.
one of those conversations where it's just like, hey, quick pause.
Don't be afraid to take it somewhere. I understand we're playing a game.
Yeah, but again, just wanted to check it and do some aftercare.
I feel
Yeah.
bad for Derek and Navos and his 3 angry stepdads. That's
Derek, this is the weird Mamma Mia problem where it could be any one of us.
I just had
who gets
my eyes
custody
shut.
at the doors.
Yeah, I have my ears plugged. I'm just kind of sitting there, just like, okay, how much longer is this going to be?
Hey kiddo, earmuffs.
Stop
But no, this, and I love. I'm saving that for stars at the end because incredible. And then when I heard Domra show up and I was like, oh no, how's this gonna go?
Hello, friends.
Hello.
Hello.
Has it been 5 minutes? I don't actually remember what time we started.
There is 1 minute to go.
Incredible.
But I'm down to get
You're all
back
back
into
anyway.
it. None of us left.
Well, alrighty then. Bio breaks are important. I needed water.
Yeah.
The evening continues. Duncan, are you planning to rejoin the guys? Do you just head back to the room? What's your
At
thought
this
here?
point, no. He is continuing to sit there, and just kind of wallow. I think in a non-healthy but cathartic way, this feels good to just wallow.
Just sit and be miserable.
Jeez.
To just allow himself a moment to just be miserable and just kind of allow
Embrace the crotchety old man that you are.
Yeah, to kind of just everything's crashing around, and all I can care about is whether or not to drink this fucking drink again.
Do you? By the end of the night, does that glass remain empty or remain as full as it started?
Roll for alcoholism.
Yeah, up until this point, it's the answer has been yes, it's still full. And I'm still kind of debating. Because Duncan doesn't drink. He's kind of not been afraid of the drink, but more that's just not who he is and that's not who he wants to be, and he just kind of got that from his dad, and
Trauma.
yeah, but more so that there's more to life than to drink. And this isn't his first time sitting at a bar thinking about it. He's a seasoned veteran.
He sure is. For the rest of you, do you wait for Duncan?
I'd probably bring up, as we're trying to discuss, do you guys want to go and I can just stay here to watch him? I'm fine coming with too.
No, somebody should stay with him.
Yeah, we'll stay a little longer too. We'll need sleep because we're gonna have another big day tomorrow. But yeah, we should stay up as long as we can.
The rest of the patronage disperses throughout the evening, whether to rooms or sneaking out during curfew to return home. Doesn't matter. Eventually, it's you four. A couple disparate people who are crashed in booths or sleeping at tables. It's you four. Bartender is pretty well closed down for the evening. They're still hanging out just to make sure nothing goes wrong, but eventually the weariness of the day begins to really settle in. That exhaustion that reaches into your bones starts to claw at you. You felt this before, where you mentally you're like, I can't sleep yet. And you're trying to fight it, but something is pushing you further and further toward unconsciousness. Everybody roll me Constitution saves if you would like to try and resist this.
We're all gonna pass out in the bar. 19.
13.
Six.
Natural 20 for a 25.
Navos, you go down first.
As
soon as it starts to kick in. As soon as it starts to kick in, your eye starts to droop. And you fall asleep. Duncan, you stare at this glass until it starts to swim in your vision. You realize you're nodding. It's been a while since you've fallen asleep in a chair. And you realize, like, if you don't go to bed now, you're sleeping here. Until eventually you nod and nod and nod, head down, and you fall asleep. Thane, you and Brun hold out for a while. You
When
see your companions start to fall asleep around you. You can feel it's digging at you.
can we
Yeah.
try to drag our companions up to our room before we pass out?
You have
Like
the
we are
opportunity to move one of them, should you choose.
One each or one total?
Talking to Thane right now.
Sorry.
If I can only move one, I'm gonna go to the one that's closer to my size. So I would go over and get Duncan, and then maybe just try to nod at Brun to try to bring up Namos.
You get Duncan to the room. He's still in his armor. It is slow going. He's heavy. It's awkward
Slippery.
trying to move
He was-
someone. He didn't get oiled up yet. You're fine.
No. Okay.
Ugh.
You get him into the room, and he is unceremoniously dumped onto a bed. And you can feel yourself pulled down. You drop with the exhaustion of the day. Give me a high or low.
I go kind of turn over, and like like you have those you kind of say things and you're still asleep, and you can't really remember them in the morning. He's kind of cuddles up to his pillow. Good night, my lord. I kind of just
Thane, the last thing your conscious mind experiences rather, you've dropped Duncan, and the floor greets you very quickly. You are a heap on the floor. Brun, you feel this pull, and you have resisted it here and in sleep multiple times. You understand what's happening. While you are fighting it, holding it off, your vision blurs for a bit. That kind of half sleep state almost,
Mm-hmm.
before you pull yourself back. And while you are there, you see these sets of multiple eyes, creatures walking through the room. No regard for tables or people or the building itself. They weave in and out of what you can see. A couple of them take notice of you noticing them. But you pull your conscious mind back and continue to fight for a bit longer. What are you doing? You can do something before inevitably you give in.
Brun was considering heading out to the Slumbering Sloke alone tonight. Getting this ball started, getting this thing rolling. the dogs have him less than enthused. Correct me, GM. Was Avern one of the Gartrano holdouts? Was that a spot that had been clocked as a
Not to your
meetings?
knowledge.
Not to my knowledge. Okay. Sort of look around the room at the couple of patrons. Is the bartender still there? Or
The
they-
bartender, by this point, is out of sight. You're not sure if they are behind the bar, if they left the room. Unclear.
Brun will stand up, pull himself to his feet, sort of grab Navos, get an arm under Navos and kind of carry him. Go up to the bar and go, anybody back here?
You hear faint snoring.
Look around for cloth napkins, something.
Cleaning rag. Still on the bar.
That can wait some more. Will take Navos upstairs, put Navos in one of the beds, see Thane crashed out on the floor, sort of scoop up Thane, put Thane in one of the beds.
You putting Thane in the bed with Duncan or with Navos?
Were there only 2 beds?
There are only 2 beds.
Ooh,
This is not a bougie place with many beds.
That's fair.
The floor's fine.
You're passed out. You don't get a say.
I know. I know. That's true.
Oh man!
You could also
Why
leave
is
them
this
on
the
the
hardest
floor.
decision? Why is this the hardest decision of the fucking night? You know
Who am I
what?
sleeping?
Decide,
Brun's gonna undo. there were only 2 beds. Brun's
From
going to
the third bed.
Brun's going to undo his arm wraps and sort of
Little
turn them
totem.
into a pillow and put them under Thane's head. And then Brun is going to.
You've got bedrolls.
Oh yeah, that's way smarter. I'll just set up a.
What, you want the dirty, sweaty armband to sleep with to cuddle up at night?
Well, no, because we didn't bring our stuff. We didn't bring our whole kit and caboodle with us. That's probably all. I didn't bring my
that's
bedroll with
right.
me.
Okay, fair enough.
So
You can just whatever.
well,
Thane
get
is nice
something
and comfy,
under
cozy
Thane's
on
head,
on the floor.
just under the head with a spare blanket, and then
You at
Brun-
least straighten out their limbs so they don't look like
Oh
they've
yeah, so you don't
crashed.
have that. And then Brun is going to shut the door. He's going to walk into the hallway, shut the door, and sleep with his back to it. Just sitting up with his legs out in the hallway, in case there's any ruckus.
Give me a high or low.
Low.
Okay. You situate yourself, barricading the door, and sleep.
Specifically, if point of order. So if they open it, they can open it because it should open into the room. And then if somebody comes up the stairs, they have to go through Brun first to get there.
You settle yourself as intended. Sleep finally claims you. It's weird trying to determine time in the dreamscape. You all are there on that glassy surface you've become accustomed to. The starscape spinning above you, the clouds of energy racing. You see other people, way more than you've seen before. They seem confused, many of them. They seem cognizant, like you are. And the glass shatters beneath all of you. A ripple cuts through the space. You can feel it tear through your forms. And that is where we will end for the night. Thank you all for joining me, friends.
Thank you for having us. What a session.
Session 32.
Heavy,
We
heavy guys.
Mhm.
yeah, there's a lot of intensity with that particular one. How we feeling?
We good.
Chicken.
We good.
It's good. That was fun.
Evan and I, when you got up for the break, I was like, Evan,
We got some early starts.
we had a
Yeah.
we had a quick check in the middle.
Okay,
of that.
good.
Yeah, we
I
had
completely
awesome
understand. There's
stars.
no.
There's no hard feelings, but still better to check in.
I mean,
'Cause I knew
stars
at
or
some
wishes for
point-
tonight.
I have to star for my enemy number one now, Brun.
Thanks,
We-
Bessie.
Dang, okay.
I knew at some point, just
BFFs.
ideologically wise,
Biggest foes
it-
forever.
yeah, Duncan and Brun, we're gonna have to butt heads eventually. And this just feels like a bomb dropped on to Duncan. Like I've been just traveling around with this murderer.
This actual murderer.
Mm-hmm. And it's
That-
now conflicting with.
Yeah.
Like, can I continue to do this mission with him?
And especially like, again, gold star to Evan for having like being put in such an incredible fucking pickle between we came to these people for help. One of the people I'm traveling with is absolutely is a foil, is an antithesis of everything you stand for. And then when you are given the opportunity to turn them in, there's strings attached to it, and it is my favorite kind of conflict where what you believe and what you want just come crashing in. And I feel very fortunate that Brun gets to be at all involved in that, because that makes it so much chewier. And it like
Fortunately for Duncan, there are no compromises